Hello everyone, welcome to a new wandering, and I think I will call this a mega wandering because it's something very unusual, very large, and it's gonna take me many times to come and explore everything that there is here. I am at the edge of the grounds of the Chatham Historic Dockyard, and as I said, this will be a very long exploration, probably lasting me many months, up to a year. But I hope I'm gonna get to show you loads of interesting things in case you never make it here. This pond in front of us is called the North Mass Pond, and it dates since 1702. And if you want to read about it, please pause. It's interesting. I didn't know how the logs were prepared and all that, so it's an interesting fact. Photo from a very long time ago of how the boathouses looked. Now, if we rotate to the left, there's a large car park for visitors, and then the mega giant hangars begin. It is absolutely beautiful. I have been once before and it blew my mind, and I knew that then that I will need to come back over and over again when I have the opportunity and do it proper justice. Now the tickets are on the pricier side. I think it's £32 if you're paying at the door, and slightly cheaper if you book it online. But the positive side of it is that the tickets are valid for a year. So when I said that I will be returning many times, that's the reason why, because I can for a whole year come back over and over again. I'm not sure my camera will give justice to the size of the buildings here, and also it's a little bit blowy today, so you might hear wind sounds. Now I believe this is the part where they still do upkeep of boats and refurbishment of boats, so part of it is still working today after over 400 years of history. I will try to tell you bits and bobs about its history as we go along, and I hope I will remember the things I've read because there's so much information, it's bad. I think that's an overflow for the car park. It looks like part of an old crane. And if I keep on spinning to the left, we come to what they call the upper mast house. And I saw a little description, which I'm going to show in a sec. There we go. And photos of the archaeological digs. And we have the welcome banners which says welcome to Kent's biggest day out, and it is indeed the biggest day out. It's absolutely fabulous. Now let me tell you a tiny bit about it. Chatham Historic Dockyard is a maritime museum on a part of the site of the former Royal Dockyard at Chatham. This used to cover over 400 acres and was one of the Royal Navy's main facilities for several hundred years until it was closed in 1984. After the closure, the dockyard was divided into 3 sections. The easternmost basin was handed over to Medway Ports, and it is now a commercial port. Another part was converted into a mixed commercial, residential and leisure development, and 80 acres comprising the 18th century core of the site was transferred to a charity that's called the Chatham Historic Dockyard Trust, and it is now open to visitors as a tourist attraction. It claims to be the world's most complete dockyard of the age of sail, And you'll be hearing me mention the age of sail probably many times. So for those of you who wonder what does that cover, it's about 300 years from the mid 16th century to the mid 19th, when shipbuilding and sailing were king. Now, just to tell you about some practicalities, if you're coming to visit, then the parking is free. Otherwise, if you just want to station and walk around, because there's loads more to see, then you need to pay a fee. There's lots of play parks and other interesting things for children, so it's great for family days out too. But let's go in. Ta-da! A lot of beautiful woodwork everywhere. There's a really cool restaurant just here. Okay, let me just take you in quickly. And there's more to it, but I'm just looking at the construction part, which is absolutely cool. Of course, there's a shop and all sorts for all tastes. But let's see something today. There you can see the prices as well. It is quiet now because it's later in the afternoon. I came this time on purpose to try to avoid the crowds. And if you already have your ticket, then you just scan it here. Well, you need to validate it first, and then you can get in. Obviously, I did not pay attention to what it said on there, but it's my second time, so now I know for next time. Now, this corridor leads you into a place where you can do bookings for some of the demonstrations, like the rope making and the visit on the HMS Ocelot, which is a submarine. And it's so very cool, it's worth doing. I've done that last time and I filmed it, so make sure you check out that video. There we go, let the adventure begin. Let me show you a quick model. So that's where we came in, that was the first pond. We've seen those buildings and we are there. And then the most amazing ships await us. The middle one is the submarine and loads of other things. But now a cannon and the command of the oceans. Let's see. Now I won't be filming things that might be copyrighted, but there's amazing things that I can show you, so I'll try and do that. Now these ships are some of my favorites. Now, one of the most amazing models, or well, it is a model, a very large-scale model, is of the Victory, Nelson's flagship at the Battle of Trafalgar, which was built here. And it looks like this. It's absolutely spectacular. The real one is to be found in Portsmouth. I hope to see it one day. It's just like wow, absolutely wow. And I just read that this was made for a movie from 1941. How cool is that? And the painting over by Robert Cleverley. And another one about the Battle of Trafalgar by Turner. Okay, let's see it from this side as well, and I'm gonna go to the other side too because it is worth seeing. There we go. Absolutely glorious. Look at all the little cannons. A row of cannons from the 1700s. Different ones. I think I'm going time-wise backwards. We started with the later ones and progressing to the early 1700s. And then the doors opened and we are going into another chamber that is going to tell us about the people, tools and trades. Again, I am fascinated by the woodwork. I think many of these things are done in a way so the children can experiment and understand how these things worked, like this two-handed saw. Well, it's a one-handed, but two people can work on it. One on this end and one holding the little knob thing on the other side.
As the world's most complete dock grew on the slipways, about it. So in Chatham Royal Dockyard, trades had to work in harmony. Today, I'm in right
More
now.
of the tools.
This room,
And an area we can't get into. On this wall there's some interesting information, like how much would paid from 1803 be worth today, and to the workforce age. It's like the youngest was 14 and the eldest 65, and lots more other interesting bits. And this is an interesting and useful information. Okay, going out and let's see what else there is. Oh, this is something interesting. Can you guess what that is? I hope it shows. It is a square plate. And that's what the ordinary seamen used to have their lunches and these dinners on, and that's where our expression for 3 square meals a day comes from. How cool. Here's another interesting thing. It's called a dead eye. They used to form an important part of the ship's rigging. And I think the name got its name because it reminds people of a skull or something. And here's 2 sunglasses. One, the large one is for half an hour and the other one is for 28 seconds, which was actually used not for time, but for calculating the speed of the boat. The coat of arms of the Sheerness Rail Dockyard. Another model, which is absolutely beautiful. And various bits and bobs you would find on a ship, like the compass ball and the pigment barrel and rigging equipment, including more dead eyes, some old shoes and a long sock. And this one there is a lice and flea comb, because that used to be a big problem. So they would give it to the sailors to try and get rid of as much as possible. And some sailors used to put tar on their hair, because they used to wear long hair to keep the insects away. And there's even a chamber pot. Tankards for drinking and other storage. Spoons and plates. And here's another square plate. Now they had to maintain the cleanliness, so there's brooms made out of twigs, hammers, paintbrushes, and all sorts of things. And there's a grindstone, which they would use to sharpen knives and tools. That's a barrel for gunpowder storage. There's some gunboats. They used to hold things together. Some grape shots. These ones, once they are fired, they would scatter. And then you have the round shots, larger. And that one is a match dispenser. It's made out of wool. They used to light it and light the fuses of the guns. Now I'm gonna go inside there and watch a short film about this ship beneath the floor, and I can't film that, but I'll let you read what is it all about. Okay, I just spotted that there's a painting of the HMS Namur by Andrew Kennedy, and it looks beautiful. Alright, that was very interesting, and if you come to visit, I recommend you watching it. It's only a few minutes long. And this is the full dress code of Sir James Alexander Gordon, an admiral, and his presentation sword and scabbard. Absolutely beautiful. There's an inscription on it with its name and all. There, I'm trying to include it all. And that's how he looked like. And going through a different corridor. And another. I wonder if there is a bit of it. I've not been here last time. So let's see. I will be just as surprised as you are. Oh yeah! Oh wow! Wow! There's loads of it. Okay. I'm gonna try to do some close-ups as well. More info to read. Okay. They're very large and thick. And they go on and on. I can't really give it justice with my little film camera. And here you can see some more. There's a lot of it. You can see some mills. Oopsie. Just zoom in nicely. Can you see them? And that's a clay Staffordshire figurine of a sailor called Billy Waters, and I'll let you read his story in a sec. It is interesting and it's too long for me to tell you, so if you're curious, pause and read. I'm gonna try to go slowly so you can read it. Very, very interesting what can happen in one's life. And there's also a reproduction of a drawing about him.
How this and many more battles.
It's a little bit tricky to speak between the snippets, but that's it. Final look at the remnants of HMS Namur. And we go out and up. And I'm out. Oh wow, okay, it's nice to get some fresh air. And these buildings are absolutely amazing. The one in front of me, straight in front, this one, housing the exhibition of the lifeboats. That's gonna be a different video. As I said, there's too much to see and too much for me to show you. So I'll try and do it bit by bit. And that's where we were, inside the mast house. Beautiful buildings, every single one of them. And there's more. The pump maker's house, the capstan makers. Huh. And I'm just gonna spin my camera around and show some bits, and then I think I'm gonna end this video here. Oopsie, oh dear, the light is now very strange and I think you can only see silhouettes of everything. Okay, as I'm walking that way, because I still wanted to include some bits, I'll tell you a little bit more. Before there was this particular dockyard, the life of boating and building ships began earlier, further upstream of the River Medway, closer to what would be the center bit of Chatham today, where the bus station is, what they called Chatham Church, if I remember correctly. And by 1570, dockyard facilities had been constructed with a wharf, storehouses and a slipway, and the first warship known to have been built at the new yard was the Merlin, which launched in 1579. Now this is one amazing building. It's called the Big Space. 3 slip. But focus. Back to what I was trying to say. Because it lacked space to build dry docks, this led for the Navy Board to build a new yard downstream, more exactly here. And by 1618, the new yard, built on the site of this present historic dockyard, was operational with new storehouses, slips and a ropery, which is absolutely fascinating. And there's gonna be a video about rope making and all that as well. And about 7 years later, by 1625, a dry dock had been built, as well as houses for the senior dockyard officers. And the dockyard became the Royal Navy's principal fleet base until the early 18th century. And here there's a fun thing happening. Let's go and have a look. An old crane is used to play giant hookah duck. Why not make it fun? Are you gonna do it again? Come on. We wanna see. I was not paying attention, I just heard him do some duck hooking. Ah, yeah, here we go. Engines on. Puffy smoke comes out. Come on. Can you do it? And I missed filming it. He did it. He cooked a duck. The coolest of them all. Fun for kids and grown-ups who like to be kids. Why not? Okay, one of the little locomotives. There used to be many miles of rail tracks, and I think there's only about a mile left, which they still use as demonstration from time to time. And then here we have the HMS Gannet from the mid-19th century. Absolutely glorious as well. I will be filming detailed videos about each ship. And further down is the HMS Ocelot. You can see like bit there. That's the submarine. Okay, there she is. I didn't want to be cruel and not let you see it. As I said, I filmed a short wandering within it, and it was loads of fun. Check it out. And the third ship that can be visited is the HMS Cavalier, a warship. It's very large. I can't. Let me see if I go closer. There's no way for me to include it all the way I would like. Okay, maybe it's better from here. There we go. Yeah, I think it is. Beautiful. Okay, on the other side, I think it looks even better. Don't want to repeat myself, but there will be a separate video about it. Now, before I end the video, just a few interesting bits to tell you. That this dockyard and quite a lot of parts of it is also used as a location for filmmaking. They film different movies and TV series, such as Call the Midwife. There's actually a tour on, for which you need to pay separately, about the Call the Midwife, The Crown, Loki, Bridgerton, and Enola Holmes, and some others. So, yep, it's a pretty cool place. And that building is the second restaurant. It's called the Vegan Stop Canteen. It has outside eating area as well. And this is how it looks on the inside. Again, there's like a playpen for younger children. And there you go, another big hanger. And I spotted some interesting bits in the back. A locomotive. And then further down there, there's a... Now, I will be ending the video here. I just came down to show you the Medway River. But we're indeed by it. That's where I came from. That was the canteen. Here's the beautiful river. And I just spotted that a big ship is passing by. I wonder what's transporting. It looks like a cargo ship. It's loaded. Now further down the river, oopsie, I'm gonna try and zoom in to show you something. There. There. Try to center it. That's Upnor Castle. It's quite a pretty place, worth visiting. It's just not the easiest to get there if you don't have a car. And of course, I have been there and I have filmed a video. If you want to see it, make sure you check the Wanderings playlist. And on the opposite side, going upstream, it's the town of Chatham. And then the river turns right, going into Rochester. Well, through Rochester. And I think I'll leave it to this. As I said, make sure you will look out for future videos I will be filming here. I can't wait to do them all, but I do want to do my research properly so I can share useful and interesting information with you. Thanks for watching. Have a lovely day, everyone. Bye.